Good morning. I am out here on a beautiful spring, we're still in spring, day with Don and Mary Gindhart, who own this amazing place called 51 North Brewery. And I have told him over and over, you're kind of a big deal, and now you really are, both of you.
Well, thank you very much.
So welcome this morning to this beautiful day.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, I'm
Pleased
so
to be
glad
here.
you're here. We've been trying to do this for a while.
Yeah, we
We had
have.
to wait to the perfect day.
About a
Yeah,
year.
I think it's worked out perfectly. Look at this day.
So right behind us are the famous,
Our hops.
our hops.
Yes,
okay.
we grow hops in our
We probably should
planters.
tell everybody this is a brewery. This is a brewery
Yeah.
that started in Lake Orion about 2 years ago.
Correct?
And they make their own beer, and they actually won an award already. So I'm going to have Don tell you the whole story. Start from the beginning.
Okay. We opened up in January 2013. We're a microbrewery, which means all the beer that's consumed here is made here. And as was mentioned, one of our beers won the World Beer Cup last year. That's a very prestigious award. There's a lot of competitions out there, but the World Beer Cup's kind of the granddaddy of them all. And our Windwalker Brown won the gold. Kind of akin to the Jamaican bobsled team going to the Olympics, not just going, but actually winning the gold itself. Again, as a matter of reference, Bell's Brewery has 400 barrel tanks. We made 383 barrels the year we won the competition. So they
Wow.
literally make more in one batch than we make the entire year. But Adam Beretta, my brewer, is doing a great job, no doubt
He's
about
an
it.
awesome guy.
Yeah. So we make
I have actually met him before.
great
Yes.
guy, makes great beer as well.
He does. So behind us is hops,
Right.
which is what is the main ingredient of beer.
It certainly is one of the main ingredients of beer, right? According to the German Reichenschinskopf law, or whatever they call that thing from 1614, water, yeast, barley, and hops. You need water, obviously. You need the yeast to produce the alcohol. You need the malts to have the sugars for the yeast to do that, and
Okay.
hops is the bittering agent in beer. So that's how we get the balance that we get in beer. You have the maltiness, sweetness that the malts bring, balanced by the bitterness of the hops. So, but we have back here the hop plants. We're sitting in the garden patio seating area, my beer garden, if you will.
Yes.
And we're surrounded by hops here when you eat here. This is a Willamette hop. That's from the Pacific Northwest. Its characteristics are kind of citrusy, a little bit of pine perhaps, some evergreen type of stuff to it. Very popular in many, many beers. I also have Cascade, which is one of the main hops that's used in almost all beers right there. Another Cascade plant across at the other box there. A couple of Fuggles, which are your German, they're called noble hops, a little more earthy, not quite as bitter. And then finally another Cascade down there. So a lot of different hop plants grown here, but they all have similar characteristics. They're very aggressive perennials. They grow like crazy. You see, we'll have a canopy of hops here. We'll be sitting underneath here having a beer in the middle of the summertime, which is
Yes.
something certainly as a beer lover I would look forward to.
People enjoy sitting out here and just looking up and saying, "Oh my God, this is just so awesome."
And over there is what the fruit of
Yeah.
hops looks like
Can you
once
grab
it blooms. And that takes about how many?
They'll start producing these guys in late August. You'll see the little tiny buds pop out, and then literally they just look like pine cones, just made out of leaves versus being like a pine cone type of thing.
Wonderful.
And the question asked, yes, we will use this in brewing. It won't be in one of our brews that we'll serve at the. Well, maybe it will if it's good enough. But I'll homebrew it myself out here. It is National Homebrew Day, the first weekend of November, and we'll be out here. I'll be out here with my old school homebrew kit that I used for many years before opening up this place, making beer.
So I want to know how you went from, I know, well, of course, it blesses my heart that you're a musician at heart. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes because there's a musical setup here already, which I was a fan of as soon as I heard they opened and I saw the music setup. Because musicians don't like being roadies. Mary
Very true.
introduced herself as the roadie. Now she doesn't have to be a roadie ever again because inside, which we'll show you in a little bit, is an all set up area for musicians so they can walk in, plug in, and play. I have to shake your hand.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
I just dragged some stuff to a winery the other day and thought, yeah, this is so beautiful to have this here. Anyway, so you are a musician, but
Yes.
you must love beer because you started a brewery.
Yep.
19...
19.
Does one wake up in the morning and say, I think I'll start a brewery?
No, no, not at all. 1982, I'm sitting at Good Time Charlie's just outside of Princeton, New Jersey. I'm a Rutgers grad and New Jersey native. And I had my first Sam Adams beer. And the epiphany that Michelob was no longer the best beer in the world happened that evening.
Okay.
I also had a good friend in college, his name is Jim Pericles, who ended up brewing at Sam Adams, Boston Beer Company. We decided to homebrew, and that's when I was still in college. Made a beer. It was very cloudy. It was kind of funky, to say the least. But we all got a great buzz off and said, you know what, this making beer thing's pretty cool. So I did it off and on for many, many years.
Okay.
And then fast forward 1996, Detroit Brew Factory opens up down in 8 Mile over in East Point there. And I started going to that, making beers. Interesting enough, with Pat Scanlon, who's gone on now to Detroit Beer Company, and now he runs the Lockhart's barbecue joint. And he'll be moving in just a block over here.
Yes.
With that excellent barbecue place. Really looking forward to having them coming in. So I brewed with Pat then when we were both very nascent brewers still, making very bad beers, quite frankly. Yeah. And then the Coonins opened up, not homebrew, they're a microbrewery as well. They opened up in Warren in 97 or 98. And that was only a few miles from my house, so I started frequenting that place quite a bit.
Now, is that where Dragon Beat is made?
Nope. Dragon Beat
Meat's
another brewery down in Warren as well. They're down on the service drive at 696 by Booner there. So I started brewing. They had a brew on premise is what they call these operations, where you came in, you made the beer on the place with the help of an expert.
Okay.
You came back a few weeks later, you bottled it up. A couple weeks later, you've got pretty good beer in 22-ounce bottles. You're telling your friends, hey, I made this stuff.
Wow.
So made quite a bit of beer since 97, and then 2003, almost opened up in Ferndale.
Okay.
I would have been in the Five Star Bank building, the very nice building across from Como's at 9 Woodward. For various reasons,
I was
it didn't
in that
happen.
building once.
Oh yeah.
I had my business in there. That's a great building.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Where the Rialto was.
Yes.
Yep.
But so we looked at that place for many reasons. It didn't work. Never lost the dream. 2011, decided I took the jump, and we started looking for places. Found this place. Immediately fell in love with the architecture of the building, and said, here it is. We're gonna make it happen right here.
Wonderful. Actually, I was in this building when it was the DDA office.
Oh yes.
And while I watched the transformation happen, I was just amazed.
Thank you.
Because it just, you transformed a spot that was almost nothing.
Yes.
And it's awesome.
It's beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful. And I love the garage doors that open up in the summer.
Thank you.
There's so many things we could talk about. So,
I do have a funny story about it. Can we tell that one?
Yes, absolutely.
This is a very nondescript building, as you know, and
Yes.
you cannot see the domed roof in here, which really is the most dramatic architectural feature of this place. So we came in. We had looked at other buildings. We looked at what is now the wagon wheel, or what was the wagon
Yes.
wheel. We looked at what was the parking lot, the old steakhouse there.
yes.
And we got this building, and we met with the DDA folks here because that's where their offices were. And I was talking with Suzanne Perot, and she said, well, what do you think about this building? And from the outside, this didn't look like much.
No.
But we walked into that main room there and saw the architecture and said, oh, wow, this really could work. This really could work. And I just fast forward a few months later, again, I was working with the Coonins. They helped me out very much in getting this brewery open with consultations. And I got here with Eric Coonan Sr. He got out of the truck and he goes, Don, this is really an ugly building. And I said, Senior, I've got a plan. Give me some time. I'm going to turn this into a really nice place.
Yes. You know what? You're absolutely right. I never realized that. From outside, you cannot tell that the architecture of the inside is even here.
No, the building looks much smaller on the outside than it does once you get inside with the dome roof. It really is a dramatic piece of architecture.
Very cool. And you, my dear, are the main chef of the place.
Yes, I am.
Your food is wonderful.
Thank you.
You come up with some amazingly creative things. You guys are a great team.
Thanks.
And rather inspiring to other couples, because you know the ratio of working together and living together is not always great.
Yeah,
So
we've had our ups and downs, that's for sure.
you can kiss.
Oh, thanks. Oh, we're getting married now?
You're already married.
This is true.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We're going to go inside and look at all the amazing things that are on the inside of this beautiful place.
Hello, I'm Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard.
And I'm former Detroit Red Wing Joe Koster.
We'd like to remind you to practice safe boating by knowing the laws regarding water safety.
Please make sure you have the necessary safety equipment on board and be sure all of your equipment is working properly before leaving the dock.
And the probability of being involved in a boating accident nearly doubles when alcohol is involved. Always check local weather conditions, and if you notice darkening clouds, play it safe. Get off the water. Have a safe, enjoyable summer on the lake.
We own a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I paid for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available, with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Okay, we are now inside, still on a beautiful day with the sunlight pouring in. Back with Don and Mary. Now we're going to learn about actually brewing the beer. And this amazing place with all these amazing things hanging from the ceiling and the story of that. And there's your poster for winning the
Yes.
beer cup.
Yes, yeah, very proud of that. Okay, as far as brewing beer, it's happening right now. Adam is back there brewing the beer. I don't know if you can see through the window. You probably can't pan there. We'll take a look in a bit. But we brew a 7.5 barrel system. That's 230 gallons per batch that we do.
Okay.
It is a full brew day. Anyone thinks brewing's easy has never brewed. It's a very, very long, arduous task. He gets in about 7:30. He'll be out there about 4 o'clock. And he does not leave that. Adam's up there right now babysitting the beer.
Full brew means you brew all of the gallons at once.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we start with grains, we mill them up, we put them in our mash tun there, we put hot water in it, extract the sugars from those grains. We create something called wort, that's sugared water, basically. We put that in our brew kettle there, and again, this is a very oversimplification.
That's okay.
We put the brew kettle there, we brew it up, we add the hops, and then we pop them over to our other tanks there, the vessels, and we put some CO2 in them, and then about 21 days later, the magic appears in your cup.
Wow. So the trick is the right combination of this, that, and the other.
Absolutely. Adam has an incredible palate. In fact, Mary and Adam both have palates that humble me, where they can taste something and taste all the little nuances in a particular wine or a particular food. And they both bring that to play for the food and the beer we make here, which is why I think our beer and the food is so great.
Oh, so you have to have somebody who has a very specific, sensitive palate so they can taste all the different flavors.
Well, there's brewers that are very technical and just do it. I mean, you can do a beer and get it very, very, lasered in basically with today's technology, just using, programs.
Okay.
But where we I think we add things that makes our beer better is Adam's heart and soul is in all these beers as well. He doesn't even use programs to do his batches,
Is a program
right?
like a recipe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what makes Adam different is he doesn't use these things. He hand does his recipes, and again, a lot of love in our recipes here.
Well, that's why your beer is so awesome.
And
There's
it's-
all kind of love in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, he's a very hands-on guy. I don't know. Can you take a look in here? Can we look?
Right through.
Anyway, here they are doing their job. Except Brian, he's the assistant brewer. He doesn't really do work. No, just joking.
Try to explain what they're doing.
All right. Well, right now, again, it looks like. Okay, so Adam's got the boil going. Okay. We're gonna have to back off, guys. We have to get out of here because he's in the middle of it.
Oh.
So right in the middle of the boil, he is literally right in the middle of the boil, and he's waiting for something called the. It looks like probably the break is happening. And what that means is that he's getting to the absolute pressure of the actual temperature. I'm sorry, of the boil. We're right now making the beer. Boy, that was a terrible explanation. Again, the break comes when we get to the proper boiling temperature, and that's what he's going to boil at when he gets that temperature. Now,
So it actually does boil.
oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a boil.
Okay.
Very much so. And he's got the hose there. He's probably, right now, it is foaming up in a really, really big way, and he's keeping it from overflowing with the foam by hitting it with that water out of the hose. And again, right now, as you can see, he is locked in. He's locked in to find the perfect temperature so we can make this right.
That's amazing.
Believe me, there's a lot to brewing. And my point is Adam brings a lot of art. He's technically proficient, but he also brings art to the craft of brewing here. Truly does. And you can see there, he is moving. They are not messing around right now.
And when did you meet him?
Oh, I was very fortunate to run into Adam. Oh, I think we've known each other for about 5 years now.
Okay.
Prior to opening up, I went to Conrad Connor. He is the head brewer up at Redwood Lodge. I said, Conrad, I'm opening up a brewery in North Oakland County. I want the hottest young brewer around to be my brewer. And he smiled and said, I've got your guy. Introduced me to Adam up at a Master Brewers Association meeting. And we hit it off immediately. And he's been the key acquisition for 51 North because he's just a fantastically talented brewer.
Wonderful. Now, speaking of other breweries, we're going to move back on over here.
Oh, okay.
You have the most unusual, and of course, being a fabric person, fabric lover, and all those things, you have these amazing shirts.
Yes.
I was here when there were hardly any. So explain to us the cool shirt thing.
Well, it actually serves two purposes. They are aesthetically beautiful. What I'm doing is, if you come in with a brewery shirt from any brewery in Michigan, I will give you a brand new 51 North shirt. So you bring that one in, I will give you a 51 North shirt. And then we put them over ceiling tiles. What I've done is I take ceiling tiles, I cut them into little shapes. They're kind of like, the arms, if you will. And we hang them. So not only am I getting aesthetic beauty out of them and supporting the other Michigan breweries, but it also deadens the sound in here. with the dome roof and the concrete floors, with all the live music we have in here, I need to deaden the sound as much as possible, so I'm not blowing people away with it. You know, the decibels get a little high.
See, and I had no idea. Now we're going to mosey over to the music area.
We have live entertainment 6 days a week. The only day we don't have entertainment, we're going to be closed, which is Monday. We have an open mic on Tuesday. Well, back up a little bit. I've been playing since 1978. I currently play in 4 bands. Music's a big part of my life. So the stage is set up here all the time. Everything you see on the stage is either mine or has been bequeathed upon me by some of our regulars. Keyboard has been given to me, one of our regulars. A bass has been given to me. A guitar has been given to me, some of our regulars. So it's very much a community music feel in this place. Right. On Tuesday nights, we do open mics starting at 8 o'clock. Probably move to 7 o'clock in the summertime because we get more of the kids from college. And I love backing the kids with their music. Wednesday night we have Sporkle Trivia. Thursday night we have either comedy, we had comedy last night, or we have acoustic music. Yeah, we have the same people you see at Mark Ridley's. For $22 on a Friday night, you can see her for free on a Thursday night. Oh. And then Friday, Saturday we have live music, classic rock, and then Sundays we have live jazz on the patios from 3 to 5. So live music is a very big part of this.
You know, I've actually come here at night and there's a guy who looks just like you who's playing on that guitar. It's probably him. It is.
Oh. Yes, I've seen that.
Joke.
Seen. I won't book him again. I promise you. He
now,
wasn't very good.
I do have a picture. One time, he was actually on the bar, jamming out. That was a blast.
Well, I've been playing in bars since '78, and I've always wanted to do that, but I always feared I'd get kicked out of the bar if I did it. Well, now I own the bar.
The owner would kick you out. Oh, that's such a great story.
But yeah, I have a lot of fun. We like high energy, fun music here on weekends. You do a little dancing and have a good time.
Yes, and the music goes all the way out to the patio, and everybody gets to dance. And okay, now also you are part of the Lake Orion community.
Absolutely.
And you have gotten into some amazing. We'll start with the Winterfest.
Okay.
Now this is not toilet humor. This is a real story. We had an outhouse race.
Yes, we did. Yes,
Tell
we did.
us about that.
Well, the Winterfest, here we have a wonderful Dragon on the Lake event, and this town also has wonderful resources for a winter festival.
Yes.
And so we kind of just came up with it, built it out of the ground last fall, got together with some other community leaders, and I got to give credit where credit is due. It was Chief Jerry Narsh that came to me and said, "Hey Don, you have these outhouse races." I'd never heard of them. Never heard of them. He said, up in Upper Michigan, they do these outhouse races. They're really neat. Went on the web and looked at it and said, "Oh my God, this is genius, Jerry. This is genius. We got to do it." So we got the waste management folks to give us some outhouses, put some casters on them, and then we ran them up and down the street there for charity. We also did an ice golfing event.
Yes, Rotary did.
Yes, I was going to say, we did the outhouse racing was with the Lions Club. Great help from Bob Hildebrand and that group. The Rotary Club, Steve Auger stepped up, and then we did some ice golfing. That was great. And then with the Methodist Church and the Arts Center, we had a tent out here doing arts and crafts and things of that sort. My hope is that we can grow this Winterfest so it's the winter version of the Dragon on the Lake.
Oh,
grow
awesome.
it up, make it a great community event everyone can have fun with, and we can raise some money for some great charities in the area.
Awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah. We're a pub. We're not your shot and beer loud place. We're the community-based hub. I want to be the place where people think this is the center of town, this is the heart and soul, and we should be driving events like the Winterfest here in 51 North. At least that's part of our one of the pillars of our company.
Yes, you are. And you were recognized this year by the Chamber of Commerce as the historical preservation.
Beautification.
Beautification.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I think
one not based on the patio. It was certainly part of the original vision. And finally got it all together last summer up, and this is the first summer we'll have it for the entire summer. We're really excited.
That's so great. I think somewhere there's pictures of what this used to look like.
Oh, there's plenty of pictures.
We will give those, and you will get to see those.
Okay, yeah,
what it used to look like.
I've got a gazillion pictures from the construction. It was quite an adventure building this place.
And the outhouse races. You know you have pictures from that because I saw
Yes,
them.
we do.
Yeah.
And getting back to charity events, we will do more of them. We're going to do a fall one. We did one last. We did a small. The first weekend in October, we'll have a fall fest. Pumpkin carving and more of those kind of things.
Fest, maybe?
Well, there's beer involved, obviously. Anything with 51 North.
Yes.
And I've got a golf outing here on June 6th that we're doing out at Oxford Hills.
That?
That's at Oxford Hills.
Okay, is it a charity?
Yes, it is, and that's for the Arts Center. We're doing that for their new sculptor studio. The wheels that they bought for the clay sculptures are fairly expensive buggers, so helping them pay for those things.
That's fabulous.
So we're always doing those kind of things. We did a New Year's Day. We did a wonderful event for a child from Oxford. Emma, and we did that with the
Okay.
Road Warriors organization. Brian
Oh, I
Thomas,
know them,
Brian
yes.
Thomas, who was one of the founders of the 5K run that we do here every New Year's Day, and we raised quite a bit of money for a beautiful little girl up in Oxford. So we love doing those kind of things, and we'll continue doing that, as well as these big events that we've been talking about. We like doing the little events monthly as well.
That's wonderful. Okay, I am so glad that I know you guys. I know lots of people are thrilled that you're here.
Well, we're thrilled to be here.
Yes, and may you stay, the Irish have a saying, may you stay 1,000 years. So that would involve some technology.
Yes, it would.
All right. See you here at the pub.